This week, Michaela and I thought we'd talk about the fight flight response. Okay, Michaela, can you explain to us what do you think fight flight means to you or to your clients?
So I talk to my clients about the fight flight response a lot, actually, because the significance of it is if you're stuck in that sympathetic dominant state or in the fight flight response, then your nervous system isn't regulating the way that it should. So it's basically not working the way that it should. The fight flight response is a very, very necessary part of being a human being. We absolutely want it because that's the thing that keeps us safe. Like if there was a rabid dog that came into any of our spaces right now, we wouldn't just want to sit there and have a conversation with it because, if it was looking like it was going to attack us, we would actually want all the blood to rush to our limbs and our adrenaline to start pumping so that we run and we get away. And if in the instance we couldn't get away, then our next response might be to actually freeze, go into a ball and try to protect our most vital organs, so move into that response, keeping ourselves safe. So then the way that the fight flight response is that we're meant to move into that response. So, if we're in an unsafe situation, but then when we're safe, we're meant to move back out of that response. Our nervous system's meant to regulate from fight flight to rest, digest, and heal. But the problem is, as I explain to my clients, that we live in a world which is really full of stress. And, particularly even in the last 4 years. So since 2000, when we were all, most people call it the C word. I don't want to say that word, the C word time, when we were all stuck at home and it was really stressful. The world has changed considerably since then. We are actually, as human beings, like the studies are showing, like 7 out of 10 of us are experiencing, great levels of stress and burnout, more than even previously. So, there's that. And then there's the fact that we've got a world, we're surrounded by technology, we're always on our phones, the financial stuff has become an even bigger issue. So the cost of living, finances actually cause a lot of stress, even in relationships. Like it just, like we can all list lots of reasons that stress impacts our life. And so most of us are actually constantly stuck in that dominant state of fight flight rather than being in regulation. And when we're like that, our bodies aren't functioning properly. Often our heart rates are higher, our breathing's more rapid, our digestive system slows down. A lot of people start to experience things like headaches, insomnia, the list goes on. So that's not a healthy, happy human being when we're stuck in that response. So it's really significant. We're not healing ourselves when we're stuck in that response. So it is in our best interest to do what we can to move into rest, digest, and heal as part of regulation. We don't want to stay there because that would mean that, when we're unsafe, we're not responding.
Yeah, we're in that constant fight flight mode, which
Yeah.
isn't good. I mean,
No.
yeah, like you said, like we're all born with the ability to respond to those sort of things. But yeah, I think when it becomes all out of balance and where some people do get stuck in that fight flight mode, and so when they're trying to survive rather than thrive, that's where the danger is. So what would you say to your clients? How do your clients present, or how do you know when they're stuck in the fight flight mode?
So there's a couple of ways. So I always get we get our clients to do some assessments. So there's one assessment that we do that's the heel toe assessment. And actually you can just do that yourself at home. Put your hands out in front like this, like you're a zombie. close your eyes and then one foot in front of the other, heel to toe. And basically, as human beings, we're meant to be able to do 6 or more steps without wobbling or falling over. So if you're doing 6 steps or less, it's very likely that you are in that sympathetic dominant state or fight flight. And then the other thing that you can do is, we were talking about it before, like a lot of people that are in this state are very head body separate, is just to check in with yourself and ask, well, how are you feeling? Just because you are a human being that's functioning, like you're managing to keep your job and see friends, do your household chores, it's like, you're functional, doesn't actually mean that you aren't in fight flight. So it's about checking in, seeing how you actually feel. Are you just in survival mode, or are you thriving?
And you just do what you got to do with what you've got, don't you? You do the
Yeah.
best you can.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. What are some tips that you give your clients to help them move from the fight flight mode into more of a rest, digest, heal mode for themselves that they can do at home? What are some things that they can, just little things that they can change, little things but make a lasting impact?
So, I mean, obviously, I'm going to say get regular spinal flow. That's one thing. Obviously, you can't do that yourself. My clients, I often teach them a few self-healing things. But so one of the things that we have access to, and it's free, is breath. So breath is one of the things that is voluntary and involuntary in our nervous system. It's the only part of our nervous system that we have voluntary control over. So using breath is a really good one. And there's that technique that we're taught, Karen. You might like to
Yeah.
explain it.
Okay, so we're talking about the inhale for 6 breaths and exhale for the count of 6. Sorry, inhale to the count of 4 and exhale to the count of 6. What we're doing is we're making sure it can be 5, in for 5, out for 7, as long as the exhale breath is longer than the inhale. So that just is a natural response to taking our body to the rest digest state. So yeah, inhale for 4, exhale for 6.
Yeah,
That's a
I
good
love
one.
that.
Mm,
It's something like, it doesn't matter where you are. No one's going to know that you're doing that. And I feel like it's almost like, going to the gym for your nervous system. There's that,
mm,
that practice of, and also then I think it's that actually connecting to your body, connecting to your heart using your breath.
definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
And then there's other simple things like being really conscious of what you put in your body, because, like we were saying before, when you're stuck in this state, then your digestive system's not working necessarily as well as it should. So just eating
mm,
whole foods, food that doesn't have lots of numbers and words you can't pronounce, things like, practicing things that you love, like, going for
yeah.
a walk if you love walking, spending time in the sun, getting your feet on the ground. You're lucky you live at the beach. Going to the beach, getting your feet wet, even though it's cold at the moment. What are some of the things you
Mm.
suggest to your clients?
Those things, as well as ensuring that they get plenty of sleep, like good
Mm.
quality sleep. We're talking 8, 9 hours every night. This is a Sleep's so important. This is the time that our body needs. This is when the healing happens, is when we're sleeping. Yeah, so ensuring that they get a decent night's sleep, limiting their intake of alcohol as well as caffeine. We know that they can increase things like anxiety, and it also affects our ability to sleep, like that deep sleep. So, yeah, those are a couple more. Another one I like to, meditation, any sort of relaxation activity, like you said with the breathing, that's awesome. Like you said, you can do it anywhere. Meditation, that's really cool. You can only just do it for 10 minutes. Go sit outside in the sunshine at lunchtime, just get that fresh air, that sunshine, and just go within that whole body mind connection. Like, don't forget your regular spinal flow. It's
Yeah.
all about helping to regulate the nervous system, take your
Well,
body out of the fight flight.
and obviously spinal flow is going to bring that life force energy through your body, which is actually
Mm.
going to help you heal. It's, we're not talking about a band-aid effect here. And we're also, some of the stress that's built up in our systems, it's not new stuff. I'm 46 years old. I've got 46 years worth of stuff, let alone the stuff that just occurs living as a human being in this society. Then, there's all that other stuff that as spinal flow practitioners, we can actually help your body to decrease from your system, which in turn is going to help your body move to that rest, digest, and heal.
Beautiful.
All right.